Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone is doing well as always. I'm here with my next book review, and I'm super excited about it because A, I really enjoyed it, but B, the author is someone who I've been listening to for a few years now, and so I'm excited to share it with y'all. So, without further ado, the next book for the year, Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk, otherwise known as Gary V. So, if you don't know who Gary V is, he's one of the most influential people online, period. He has a following not only of entrepreneurs, but also people who are influencers or are trying to grow their digital brand and their online presence. So Crushing It is a guide on just exactly how to do that. So how to use the social media platforms and how to decide what content to use and all the things you want to keep in mind if you want to build an online following. This is exactly what Crushing It is all about. So Gary V, just get back to him, he is extremely entrepreneurial, like I said, but also his story is awesome. So basically his parents and his dad had a wine business, and he worked there when he was in his early teens, and he decided that he was going to help them grow their online presence. And they were basically one of the first retail liquor stores to grow an online presence. And then he changed their name. They became known as Wine Library. And he basically every day posted videos to a YouTube channel about tastings and silly stuff about being in the store and kind of the family run nature of it, and constantly educating his followers on the different types of wine and what they were selling, etc. So he used YouTube, and this is in '06. So he used YouTube at a very early stage, and he was able to get in front. And then he basically, I think his family business went from 4 million to 60 million. So no kidding when I tell you, when you use social media and you build that following and you build that brand and you have a loyal following who's looking forward to that consistent content from you, the possibilities are endless. So Gary V, because of that experience, that launched him into basically developed his passion into how can I help other businesses grow their online presence, how can I help them improve their digital marketing, etc. So that's all about what Gary V is, and Crushing It is just his guide, his manifesto to what we can do to grow our own personal brands. I really liked it because the book is divided into, it includes a bunch of stories of entrepreneurs who have, maybe they're in typical jobs, 9-to-5 jobs, but they have used a specific platform in a specific way that has helped them launch their online brand tremendously. So I really like that he gives us stories of entrepreneurs and influencers who have done it, but B, he also separates the book into, like, for example, a chapter for each platform. So there's a chapter on YouTube, a chapter on Facebook, a chapter on Instagram, and I really like it because a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this, so a lot of times we choose one or two platforms and we're like, no, these are my two things, and I'm going with the gung-ho and I'm going to ignore the other ones. And I've realized that I've done this, and the whole point of Gary V's kind of premise is don't neglect some of the platforms. Don't think that you only belong on one or two platforms, or maybe you're not camera friendly, so you can never have a YouTube channel. Things like that. Like, don't neglect them, because on each platform there's a different set and a different demographic of users that may be able to help and join your following. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to help people, if you want to get your message across, don't neglect the different platforms, and instead just tailor your content to each. So again, I love that Gary gives each platform the attention it deserves, and again, he does not shy away from telling us the truth. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be long, potentially. It's gonna be a lot of work, and it's gonna require consistency and patience on your part, right? It could take years for you to grow the following you want to see, and you might not see any movement for months. And so, we should want to read that and feel empowered by it, as opposed to feel discouraged, because it's the truth. It's what so many of the entrepreneurs and the stories that you're going to see in this book, that's what they had to go through, and then eventually that's what the hard work is necessary in the social media space, because it's so competitive. There's so many people who are talking about the same thing, and it's based on algorithms. So you're going to have to try and fail and do a bunch of different trial runs to see what works for you and your followers. So again, if you have any interest in using your voice on social media, building an online brand, increasing your influence or your following in any way online, I highly recommend Crushing It, because Gary Vee is just, again, one of the world's experts on the subject. So Crushing It, Gary Vee, highly recommend. Thanks.